All right. I think we are live, and here I am. So, yeah, if you wouldn't mind, it looks like Michael, you're already on. If you could just say that you can hear me and see me okay, that'd be fantastic. So it is good to be back. I'll just show Michael's message here. Good day, Todd. Good to see you back. So thank you very much. And I am Todd Rains. I am the owner of Woodturning Tool Store here in Allen, Texas. We're in a bit of a deep freeze, and so it's not bad in the shop right now. We had heaters out here for a while, so thanks to my wife. And yeah, if you could just if you're joining, just let me know that I'm coming through okay. Still haven't seen any confirmation that I'm being heard, so maybe I'll just check here. Yeah, I think so. Well, I'll just keep going. If it's working okay, great. If not, then well, this will be a good recording for something. So so yeah, we've had some freezing weather here, freezing rain, and so things are kind of shut down a little bit more than normal, I guess. I can't even open my mailbox. Oh, thank you, Glenn. Sounds good. I appreciate it. So yeah, there's so much ice out there. I went out, took the garbage out this morning, collect the garbage can. It was in the alley, and the lid was open, and it's frozen open. I can't even close it. There's so much ice on the garbage can. Went to the mailbox. It's frozen shut. I can't get it open. So needless to say, we're not delivering packages today. We're not delivering orders today, unfortunately. So, but we'll get those in the mail as soon as we can. I've let all the open order customers know what's going on. So, but that's part of the living life in this time. I guess the climate. I don't know. It's supposed to clear up today, hopefully. So hopefully everybody else is keeping warm. Keeping safe, all my North Texas friends, all my Texas friends, and all my friends across the country. I know, I can't complain too much. I grew up in Calgary, so I'm used to ice and snow growing up. But down here, people, it's funny because the rain down here freezes, and never got anything like that up north in Calgary. Maybe in some of the wetter climates in Michigan and stuff, they deal with frozen ice, but it's kind of interesting down here. So yeah, not a lot of snow, a couple inches maybe at the most, and really crunchy, wet stuff. But anyway, enough of that. We had heaters in the shop. It's warm out here, so I'm not freezing my fingers off, thanks to Shelly. So it is good to be back. So these live streams happen I've been off for a couple months, but Fridays at 2:30 is what I plan to do going forward. I may have a week that I'll be taking off here and there, but I just want to come out and chat and talk about, as the sign says, all things wood turning: tools, equipment, processes, techniques, wood, and materials. So that's kind of what we're going to look for and do. I don't have any project plan for these. A lot of the next couple of weeks will be kind of looking at the tools we carry, talking about those, answering your questions about those tools, or any other tools and stuff like that. These are, well, I don't know how long it's been since you see me, Dave. So let me do this for you. So David's asking, new glasses? No, but I do have new. So I have these safety glasses. What are these called again? I can't remember the name of them, but they got No Cry, and get them off Amazon. I bought a UV set, so but these are my same glasses for the last 4 or 5 years. But thanks for the question. So I bought those UV glasses. I'm going to do some UV resin stuff I learned from Cindy's and Scott's demo a couple of months last month. So I will take a look at that and stuff like that. So maybe we'll show a little bit of that as I experiment on one of these live streams. I don't know. I still have yet to play with it. So, but like I said, we're going to take a look at some of the things that I carry in the store. We're going to look at other tools. We'll put them to use if need be, and showing just how I use them and stuff like that. But again, I don't have a project in mind. But I'd really like to ask you guys if you have any ideas of questions or any questions you have for me, or any ideas about tools that you use, that you maybe have want to inform me about, want to ask questions about. We'll have that kind of time to do that. So today I'm kind of going to go through handles a little bit, and this is kind of something I talked a little bit about at the Woodturners Worldwide Online Symposium, vendor showcase we did Wednesday, week and a half ago. So that was a lot of fun, a lot of good content there. Just waiting for the replays to come back and watch the rest of them. So let's switch over to. Let me get small, and we'll switch over to my overhead, and we'll take a look at. I've got a mess of handles on here, right? So. Why are we talking about handles? Because I do have a handle system I want to talk about, but I want to talk about some of the other ones and how to go through and how I went through my progression of buying handles and stuff like that. So the one I really didn't have out here, which I should bring out, is the handle tool. So I started with this set of I think a crown set and then a couple of Sorby tools, handle tools, 20 some years ago. And so those are kind of things, the handle tools are what I started with, and I like them. This is one of my favorite gouges, the 3/8 Sorby gouge, and it's I'm grinding into the flute down quite a ways now. So, but I got to a point where I'm not very organized in my shop for space. Well, I guess I'm organized, but I don't have a lot of space to have a rack of tools hanging on the wall. I've got this mechanics cabinet, so they all lay inside here. It's behind me. So they lay down, and as they handles pile up, they get on top of each other and they knock about a bit. They take up a bit of bulk. So I went to start to get unhandled tools, bought some Thompson tools, got a couple of Doug's handles, years ago. But they get heavy, right? This is I don't know how long this one, 18 inches or whatever. Then a 16-inch handle here from Thompson. And so started using some of those, and then started making my own handles. And this one is a 25-inch long, 26-inch long red oak handle I created using the Jimmy Clues quick release adapter. Then, did some smaller ones with the same sort of idea, quick release adapters on regular tool handles, easy to make. So that's something I think maybe friends of ours might look at showing you how to do that here soon. So let's see. Michael says, haven't had a chance to watch the vendor showcase yet. Was unable to sign in on Wednesday. Yeah, the organizers, Matt's trying to get a website up for all the replay videos, but I think I don't know. I tried the first day after the symposium, Monday. Couldn't get into the lobby of the event, the Zoom event, but I tried again, I think, a Wednesday, and I was able to get in. So I don't know if it's on and off, but check that. See if you can get back into the Zoom lobby. They might have shut that down and moved things over. So he'll send out an email when all the replays are ready. So. And the vendor showcase is on there, so check it out. It's we did have fun, and it was kind of a quick one. Not quick, but it's about 4 hours long, but quick in the organization of it. So it came together fairly quickly in the last week before the event. So we didn't have a lot of time to plan it out, but we had fun. It was myself and Cindy and Joe and John, and was Lyle. Lyle was. We had a videotape of Lyle. He was traveling to Tennessee. But anyway, got off track. So handle systems come in all shapes and forms. Started carrying the Carter and Son tools, and they've created this handle kind of thing. And this is very cold right now. So And for me, this was just too narrow. So I never really did. I sold a few, but I'd never really. It wasn't for me. Other people love this handle system. It's a great design. It's well made. Just not for my hands. So I started to use unhandled tools. These ones, homemade tools or homemade handles. And then a friend of mine up in Montana and I were talking. He's a customer and turned into a friend, and we got talking. He had the idea of we came up to the idea together, but really on his inspiration to create a modular handle system, and that's what we got down here. So at the clean up some of this stuff, and we'll take a look at the modular handle system a little bit. Excuse me while I just drop these in a drawer behind me. Leave that one up there. So there's 9 parts to this handle system. There is 2 tube sizes. Let me just tighten that in a little bit. There's an 8-inch tube and a 4-inch tube. So I'm going to ruler down here to let you know. So that's 8 inches on that one and 4 inches on that one. Then there's 5 adapters. So 1/4 inch, 3/8, 1/2 inch, 5/8, and 3/4. So those are the nominal diameters, -0 plus a little bit. So it means it's exactly 3/4 or just slightly over. So that 3/4 inch shaft tool will fit in there and stuff like that. So, and they're all come with 2 set screws in them and they're different sizes or lengths of set screws depending on how thick this is. So this has got long set screws in it. This has got short set screws in it. And then the last 2 pieces are the end cap, which will just close off the end of the tube, and a connector, which is threaded on both ends to connect the 2 tubes together. So that's how it would kind of lay out, kind of like that. And then your adapter on this end or whichever end. You can put an adapter on both ends. Have a double-ended tool. So that's how it came together. There's 9 parts. You can buy a la carte or as a kit. So a kit would come with the necessary parts. So an 8-inch handle would come with a end cap and 1 adapter as a kit. Your adapter of choice, right? So whatever one you want to choose, go to the website and you can find out which one. If you want a 12-inch handle, then you would get the 2 parts, the end cap and a connector and a adapter of choice. So whichever one you choose. And then you can add parts on. So if you wanted a 20-inch handle, you get 2 8-inch tubes. I'll show that one first, I guess. So a 16-inch handle would be, there's already a connector on this side. So 16-inch handle would be that 2 pieces, the end cap and an adapter. And then 20-inch handle would add in the end cap, another adapter, another connector, and an adapter of your choice. So so it comes together in parts and pieces, and you can make up a handle as big as long as you want. So if we wanted a 16-inch handle, there we go. Nice 16-inch handle. If you wanted a 20-inch handle, now this is where I have to widen out a little bit again. There you go. Nice 20-inch handle. And then, your adapter of choice on the end. So all the connecting parts are threaded 1 by 8. So this is 1 inch diameter by 8 TPI on here. So that's why the 3/4 adapter is the biggest I can go here in terms of, wrong way. In terms of that. So let me get a closer shot of this part. So it's right there. Tighten in a little bit. So there's a nice 3/4 inch adapter. They're all marked with their size. And then, of course, my branding, Todd Range Tools, Woodturning Tool Store. all laser engraved with ink filling on there. Then the other side, you got the 2 set screws. These are used ones, so I got dust in them, but the end of them all have this not rubber, but plastic neoprene or whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. It's like an O-ring. It's a compression ring. It's a plastic part. So when they do screw together, if we take a look at this this part here, it gives you that bit of cushion as you tighten it up, and so it's able to slack off. So it's not metal against metal when it joins together. It's metal, plastic metal, and that allows it to unscrew. This little hole, which is in the end caps as well as the connectors, is to allow you to get some torque on. And let me switch back to the overhead. Allows you to get some torque, so it fits the 5/32 screw hex wrench. And so if you do need some torque, either to tighten that on or loosen that off, that's what that hole is for. So so a 4-inch handle. Why would you want a 4-inch handle? Well, if you got a really small thing and you're trying to get it close to your belly, I don't know if I can get that. Maybe that one. So if you're up close to the lathe and trying to get, you got a little belly in the way, you got a handle you can stick right there, and it's right sticking out there. So I use this for a small 1/4-inch, pokey tool. This is a little what do you call those things? Oh, Cindy's. It's like a Cindy's vortex tool, but I haven't used it like an actual vortex tool. But a nice 1/4-inch tool, a nice small handle, it works well. And David's got a good question. Is the black cover foam? It is. It is, in fact. So let's take a closer look at that, and we'll go back to overhead for a second. So this black handle here, and let me back that out, get a bit more contrast on this part. Trying to find the center of the screen, and maybe I'll just take myself out for a second so that's not so distracting. The black foam is indeed, or the black handles are foam. They are about 3/16 thick. If I can peel that one down, and you can see that the aluminum tube has got a little raised lip there. So this foam is down in a recess in the tubes. So it's never going to slip off. There's no way. I have to use compressed air to get these off. So if I just try that. Why don't we try things live? Why don't we do that? Because, I like doing that. I like live. So if I take my air gun and I get it under there a little bit. This is how I actually get these on in the first place. So I'm now almost over top of the other one. But what I'm doing is actually just giving me a bit more room down here to show. I'll tighten that back up again. That there is a nice, let me take that off for a second. A nice bit of foam down there. So the foam is about 3/16 thick, and what it is a solid neoprene on the inside, so a nice grippy surface. And then the outside is actually brushed or sanded in the manufacturing process. And so that brushing makes this more textured. And let's see if the other camera has a better sort of view. You can kind of see that texture in there and how it's kind of dusty. So that's the inside here is a smooth wall neoprene. So it's all rubber, and that texture gives it some grip, and that gives it some comfort and some warmth. So like the full aluminum handles are a little cold to the touch. They clean out fairly well if you just use compressed air. So there's some dusty stuff in there. So they clean out fairly well. It's never going to be as good as new, but they clean out nice and fine with just some compressed air. Yeah, so that's a good question. So I should say that all the parts, um, these metal parts, the aluminum's made is sourced in the U.S. and all milled here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The neoprene, or sorry, not neoprene, the plastic washers are sourced as U.S. made. The set screws I get from a large, distributor, MSC Direct or something like that. But I always choose the USA manufactured ones. The foam grips are made by a small company up in the Pacific Northwest, and so these come from where the raw material comes from. I'm not sure, but the manufacturer of this brushed grip and everything is sourced in the U.S. And so everything that this is made here in the USA, the whole handle system. So that I'm proud of. All the CAD work I did myself, so it's a bit of work, labor of love, I guess, and I really like it. So the fact that I can get a nice 20-inch handle and have that. Let's see if I can just sort of set this one right there. This will be kind of a weird view, but I can get that handle system tucked up under my elbow. If 20 inches isn't long enough, then I can add another section on. So, we can take one section off, add a nice long section. It says 4 by 8, so this is 32 inches long. So that definitely can get up under my elbow. I can grab out there if I'm, off the end of the lathe, hollowing something out. I rarely use 32 inches, but you are able to do it. I think my kits go up to 28 inches, so that would be. This is a case where this little lever action works well here. That gets a little tight. Let me just do that. Put a 4-inch on there. What this allows you to do, if you have a 4-inch section that's capped with a connector and an end cap, you can fill this if you wanted to with lead shot. What I would do if I did that is I would wrap tape around these ends, these joints, so I don't unscrew them and have lead shot go everywhere. But that's a perfect size to tuck under my elbow and grab on nicely. I've got grip everywhere. It's not going anywhere, and that's very comfortable. So now, what do I have here? I've got a 28-inch handle, but I've also got a 4-inch handle. I've got an 8-inch handle. I've got a 12-inch handle. I've got a 16-inch handle. I've got a 24-inch handle, and I've got a 28-inch handle. So all of those handles in one system. So if you're going to a club demo, you're doing some bowl turning, you've got a 12-inch handle and a 16-inch handle to cover all your needs. If you just need that little bit of texturing tool with a 1/4-inch handle, you've got that in your pocket as well. It's all there with you. So I have a little video of myself packing away this handle system in a little carry-on bag. Well, I'm in the way again. So a little, probably a 12-inch wide packing, backpack bag about that wide, 6 inches deep, 6 inches tall, packed in at least 32, 40 inches of handle, and 15 or 20 tools plus all the adapters. So if I'm going to a club demo, I've got all my tools all in one small kit. So that's what I like about it. For me, I also like that I can store it easily in my mechanics drawer without a lot of bulky, length of tools hanging around. So anyway, there are some fun uses with this tool as well. That when I designed it, I thought, okay, well, let's make it, something that we use, and hence the 1x8 came up. So as I get set up here for this next part that I want to talk about, I will just mention this desk that I've got here. So let me just move. So this is something I use a bit, maybe a good idea for some of you out there. If you're, got a limited space in your shop, you got a lathe, build a little platform for you to use. I'll widen out a little bit here, quite a bit. I'll take that off. So I've got just a piece of, I think it's even just 1/2 inch birch plywood, Baltic birch. Nice, good grade of plywood that I have. Let me go a little bit wider. How wide can it go? Right about there, yeah. So I have this, and we move that out of the way a little bit. Keyboard. I have this cutout here for my belly, right? If we go, oh, that's coming loose. 1 second. So we go there. You can kind of see if I had a stool here, I could sit nice and close and work at this table. So that's something I kind of like. And let's see if that's on there. So you can kind of see the position I can get into. This clamp block is, well, it's a clamp block. So that's kind of what's holding it to the lathe bed. If I lift this, it's stuck down. So it's simply, I don't know even how big this is. It's 24 by probably 30, I'd imagine. It's one of those standard. Yeah, it's 24 by 30 standard Baltic birch, sort of 1/2 inch ply. And then what I'm reaching down for here is the clamp underneath on the clamp block. Oh, I gotta back off my tailstock. I kind of use that as a jam fit against this far end. Pick this up and I'll show the back side here without hitting the cameras. It's just a simple cam action lever. 2 blocks, one that sits right in the dovetail ways, and then this one swivels to lock underneath it, and then cam action to lock it in place. So very handy for setting up these kind of things at the lathe, and also for utilizing this space to sit down and do kind of work. So I'll bring my pyrography machine over to that table and do that kind of stuff there. So yeah, so let's zoom in here a little bit more. Come down this way. Let's see what kind of comments we got here. So let's see. Ben says, I have the same with some really strong magnets holding it in place. Good idea. Magnets are a good friend in the shop. I was talking to a fella today on the phone. It was yesterday. And he kept on losing these little hones. And I've lost mine. So I moved it for a demo. The little hones, or even, well, let me show here. Do I have that one set up? Yeah, so on this shot here on the headstock, I've got magnets here for hex keys. I've got a magnet glued on the back of my pencil. I think I did that one on a live stream. I talked about magnets a lot last year. Another magnet here to hold any notes or anything. I've got magnets down here holding my hex key down there. I've got them on the back side holding all my chuck keys. And then this little flag magnet that I made a couple of years ago. Yeah, so magnets are your friend for sure. So that's really crooked. Sorry about that. So great idea. And you get some really strong magnets. I found a place that I like, K&J Magnetics. It seems like a family-owned business up in the East Coast. So what do I do with these tools on the lathe? So this is another use for the for the tools for the modular handle. So if I take my lathe, this lathe spindle is 1 1/4 by 8. It's typical standard of most lathes. And let me just get in the corner here. I can talk to you a little bit. So I've got a spindle adapter that changes 1 1/4 by 8 to 1 by 8. So if I put that on there, maybe you know where I'm going with this. I've got a little wooden washer, just a spacer. I can put this guy right on there. So I just turn the lathe on. Oops. Don't want to cross thread it, and put that on there. Now what I can do, so I got a 1/4 inch adapter I can put on there. And I can get a 1/4 inch sanding mandrel. Stick that in there. And now I am sanding on the lathe. Do I have anything to sand? So it's very handy to have that. If I take this adapter off and put on the 3/8 adapter. Wrong way, Todd. There we go. Now a 3/8 adapter will hold a typical buffing wheel. Most buffing wheels are 3/8 screw thread, or if it's different size, 1/2 inch or something like that. Use something like that, and you just have to be careful about setting the set screws onto your threads, something like that. So multiple uses for that kind of tool. Sanding on the lathe. You can get a very large sanding pad. Oh, I do have one. Yeah. So this sanding mandrel, a 1/4 inch, and it's uses the standard 6 inch or 5 inch sanding pad. So you can get some good sanding accessories using this setup. Another way to go about sanding on the lathe with this handle system, since it's 1 by 8, is put on an 8-inch tube, but one where you grab some of this stuff from Amazon or wherever. Get yourself some adhesive fastener, 2-inch. It's the, aka the Velcro stuff. There's a hook side and a loop side, and take some of the loop side and stick it on one of your tubes. So here's, let me just tighten that up a little bit. So there's one regular handle tube, and here's one where I've spiraled on some loop sticky back fastener, and it's just stuck straight onto the foam grip and just kind of on there, but with the adhesive that comes with it. Let's put that on the lathe. And now I also am friends with Steve Worcester of Turning Wood, and he sells this Abranet stuff, and it's got a hook backing. There's a hook or loop. I can't remember which one is which, but so I've cut it at an angle to kind of wrap that way, and I will just tighten that up a little bit. Spiral. Let's get this. I'm gonna go more this way, I think. There we go. And now we've got a nice sanding drum sander. I did have something to sand over here. I'll just put it down, amongst my handles over here. So I make these wooden spatulas. It's one of the demos. I've made a few for friends and family and stuff. This is a great tool for doing this guy. So I will typically run this in reverse, and I'm going to watch my spindle here. I normally put a tailstock support, and now I can go ahead and sand that guy, and there it's coming loose. So this is what you do to solve that, because you're running in reverse. You're going to bring your tailstock up. I should have had this prepared ahead of time, but I didn't. Live center. And another product I use, rubber chuckies. So these are little silicon molded live center attachments, dead center attachments and stuff. So it screws on to this Powermatic. It screws on to the, I think, the one-way and the robust live centers at 3/4 by 10. And then that can come up there, tighten in there, and that's going to prevent that guy from spinning off when I go reverse. So now it's kind of locked in there. So yeah, excellent thing. Just one of those sort of secondary uses for this tool. You know, I don't know what else I've you know, I'm sure other people might have some other ideas of how to utilize it, do some other stuff with it. But that was 80 grit, and I've got 120 grit in this stuff marked out for this use, as well as I think it goes up to 240. So anyway, so that's a lot there. Let me put that back up out of the way. And catch up on any comments. Excellent. What did I just do there? All right, so sorry about that. A little brain fart happening. And take that out. We'll put that away for now. So yeah, that's the modular handle system. I'm extremely proud of that product. I had a lot of fun designing it, and I get a charge out of people using it and stuff like that. So hopefully you found that useful. I use it obviously all the time. There are certain tools I have that I still use that are handled, like the Sorby tool. I've got a beating and parting tool that I like. So it's not the end all be all, but it's a great solution for a lot of stuff. So that's the one. There we go. Yeah. So any other sort of questions you might have about that, or any sort of ideas? What handles do you guys use? Do you use, you know, unhandled tools? Do you like the handled versions, the wooden handles? I do have a lot of each, and but mostly use my wood turning tool store handle. So excellent. Let's see. So just so you know, these live streams happen Fridays at 2:30 Central Time. We'll be back next week for sure, and the week following. I think might take a week off in between, but I hope to maybe get some input from you guys as to what you want to hear and learn about, and stuff like that. So with that, let me see the other. I don't think I have anything else about the handle system at this point. So. Oops. Uh-oh. Michael's calling me out, 2:30 Todd. Yeah, so that's yeah, so why okay. So I'll tell the story, because I don't think I've told it for about 6 months, 8 months or whatever. So I picked 2:30s on Fridays for a kind of a old reason. So my wife and I met 30 plus years ago at work, and it was a instrumentation company up in Calgary, and we worked there together for a couple of years, maybe. Got to be really good friends. we didn't start dating till after I left that company. But I was the guy that. So first of all, our work week was 37 and a half hours, which was kind of nice back then. So the days you could still smoke in the office, it was bizarre to think about that now. But so the 37 and a half hours ended at 2:30 on Fridays, and so most of the gang, the young crew, would go out for a few beers on Friday afternoons, and I ended up being the one to coordinate where the afternoon delights would happen, the Friday afternoon, fun time. So I got the nickname 2:30 Todd as a guy to organize where are we going for beers at 2:30. So that was that's 30 some odd year old nickname, I guess. So I usually tell that story about once a live stream or once a year on a live stream. So now you know. Michael knew, he remembered from last time. So appreciate the shout out, Michael. I got that banner still up. Let me see. Let me turn that off. Oops, wrong one. Okay. Other news. I guess. So these live streams are happening every Friday at 2:30. Be anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes long. I am planning another demo, a pay-per-view, if you will, or a ticketed demo. Probably for the end of this month. It'll be on the website shortly. It's going to be small plates. So I've created a demo out of some of the live stream content I did last year. And did the first one for the Georgia Association of Woodturners just a couple of weeks ago. Went really well. And so it's I actually got another one booked here next week. It's kind of nice. The clubs are... well, I mean, because of COVID and the Omicron thing, clubs are still doing hybrids or Zoom only sort of meetings. So we're still, as a community, still getting together one way or another. So that's good. That's the good news. And so there's a lot of club demos happening. At least I've got several booked over the next month and a half, 2 months. So I appreciate that from all the clubs and that support. So I try and give a good demo, good clean camera work, nice replay, and quality demonstrations. Hopefully, I hope so. So looking forward to that. So that's I got several club demos coming up. I'm going to do that small plates as a ticketed item here at the end of the month. I'm co-hosting with Cindy Drozda's demos again still this month, so you'll see me there if you're going to drop in. And then I think there's some other event. I can't remember what's going on in March. April. Vendor showcase will likely be back early April. So I think it might be even on my website. Let me see. So let me pull up that. Let me turn that on. Oops, not that one. There we go. Couldn't do that for some reason. Let me get website. So we come over to upcoming events. Take a look. So there's the live streams. You'll find the live streams posted up here. Once every week, you'll see it. If you click on it, you can actually watch the live stream here too. So I think there's a watch button. There's not a watch button. I thought there would be. Maybe I turned that feature off. But you can actually come over and watch them on the website here as well. Yeah. So here we are. I click that. You'll see me kind of live. So you can watch all the past live streams are there too. Sorry, I got the menu in there. You can watch all those. But the upcoming events, you'll see I've got some demonstrations: Ocean, Woodturner, San Diego, Prescott, and then I do have it up here. Spring vendor showcase, April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So take a look at that. So let's see. Ben has a question. Maybe I missed this from earlier. Do you find you get the same burr with hand honing as you do off the grinder? No, not the same burr, but a burr nonetheless. So I do hone. And I'll hone things to get a sharp edge more than I'll hone to raise a burr. Just the nature of my turning. So things I'll hone the most will be the skew, beating and parting tool, perhaps a regular parting tool. If I'm using scrapers, I'll typically take those to the grinder to show and or to sharpen, hone, whatever you want to call it. So for example, this little guy. Let me turn myself off. So these are my teardrop cutters. They're sharpened with a 70-degree bevel here. You can kind of see, so maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. So you can see there's a bit of a bevel angle there. And they're sharpened on a platform grinder, and just set them on the platform up against the wheel and just kind of turn them around, get a nice even grind on them. So these I would take to the grinder before I hone them. So hand honing, which I drop my hone, which is usually on my magnet. There it is. So I like this hone. It's a DMT product. It's like a 4-inch sort of heavyweight hone. So this I would use for sharpening my skew or my beating parting tool. There's a scrape. I'll show that one too. There's my. So for a skew, I would take the hone. You can see, I can see some sawdust and glints of use there. So, and set that on and rock it back and forth till on that heel till I find the point, and then take a couple strokes, rotate the tool over, and do the same thing. So this I'll do on a skew, just to get the last little bit of a cut. When we take a closer look, you can see that shiny edge at the top and at the heel, along there and along up here. That's where the hone just made a mark or sharpened that edge. You can see a little bit on the heel there and on the edge there. So that's how honing works for me. If I was to do a scraper, this kind of recess scraper, I would typically take this to a grinding wheel. Honing on these edges, maybe not so bad. You could probably hone these straight edges fairly well. But it's just easier to touch that up. Those kind of fat beveled or single beveled tools, I guess, I find easier to do on a grinder. So double bevel tools, I will typically hone just as a touch up. Then I'll take them to the grinder once they're completely used up and dull. Good question though, Ben. Thank you. The other, I guess I should mention, the other honing I do is for the hook tool. And this one I hone almost exclusively. So this is the Michael Hoslock hook tool. That's this little piece in here. The bar is a separate device. It's held in by Allen screws. But there's a bevel on the outside here, but that is maintained or put on there by a grinder. When I don't take this to the grinder very often, maybe once every 6-8 months, maybe 9 months, for sharpening, I will hone the inside. So I'll take this 1/4 inch half round hone. It's about a 600 grit diamond on here, and hone the inside so that edge is honed, the top edge where the bevel meets. So that's one where I hone a lot. So it's much more economical for me to hone this guy and get an edge than to take this delicate tool to the grinder. This one is worn down quite a bit. It's usually about twice this tall. So I've sharpened it a number of times. So it depends on the tool for me as to how much I hone. The hook tool I hone almost exclusively. Double bevel cutting tools, beating parting tool, and skews and stuff like that. I will hone to get a keen edge while I'm here at the lathe. Otherwise, I'll sharpen them on the stone. The wheel. And then single bevel scrapers, I usually take to the grinder and get a keen edge from there. Good questions. That's a good little discussion. That's what I like. So I hope you guys ask more questions because helps me learn and makes me a better teacher. Hopefully, I teach the right things, the things you want to hear about, and gets me inquisitive and thinking about things and what you guys, other turners, like to do and want to know. So that's always helpful for me, and part of what I like doing is talking about this stuff and helping others. So, well, that's I think that's going to maybe wrap it up today. I don't really have any other content prepared. This wasn't really a fully prepared one. I'm kind of, my style, at least for these live streams, is to kind of not be scripted, not to come out here with a true game plan. I had a game plan. I wanted to talk about handles, but I hadn't rehearsed what I was going to say or do. But I do want to use these opportunities to inform you of what tools I carry, what tools I use. You noticed I mentioned other tools that I don't carry that I like. The rubber chucky from device from rubber chucky from Don Doyle. The sandpaper from Steve Worcester Turning Wood, and some of the other tools I use. So my plan is to be informative and hopefully help you guys along the way. It helps me a lot too. So next week, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Well, I'll figure it out over the next few days, and just kind of make a mental plan and just come in here and let it go. So that's my plan. So, but email me or drop me a note or IM and Facebook or whatever it is. Leave a comment in YouTube. Hit the like and subscribe on those guys. Hit that notification bell. You'll get reminded of this every Friday. So when I do go live, that helps get people in here. And then I'll try and I'll certainly answer all the comments. And if you guys got ideas for what you want to see or hear me talk about, let me know, and I'll certainly take those notes. So with all that said, I'm going to say see you later. 230 Todd here in Allen, Texas, out. Take a look at the website. I hope you're going to visit and enjoy that. Take a look at the events. Take a look and explore wood turning. Most important, go and shop, and I'd love to sell you tools and have you as a customer. So thanks everyone. I'll see you later. 230 Todd saying good day. Bye bye.